Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to VBO. Welcome back to League One predictions. We are back. Ian's not allowed to speak until I even introduce the first game. So a couple things. We have timestamped all the matches. Click below if there's only one game you want to watch, but please don't actually click below because it is solid gold what we're coming at you with. We're actual League One fans. Look, I'm even wearing an Oxford United shirt. You know you're a League One fan when you're supporting the team. I'm wearing a Wolverine t-shirt. Quiet down. You know you're a League One fan when you're supporting the team near the bottom of the table. Also, we are an Amazon affiliate, so if you're in the UK, please have a click below. We really need some money by Ian, I don't know, something Oxford United related. Also, there's a free Audible trial below. Have a click on that. We are sponsored by Grandstand Bettors. Please have a click below. They're an awesome tipster website. Follow their Instagram, their Twitter, their Facebook. They give out free picks every day. They're over £600 in the positive at this point. Yesterday, they had like an £80 profit day. They are brilliant at what they do. Have a click, have a watch, have a subscribe. And without further ado, top of the table, Ipswich Town host my new favorite club, Accrington Stanley.
Am I allowed to talk now?
Yes, it's time.
Okay, do I just go straight to a score prediction or am I actually allowed to say something?
Well, we just recorded like a 75-minute video, so you should probably just say the score and we'll go.
Well, I think you summed it up really well. Ipswich did have another fine win. It's been a great start for them. 4 wins and a draw already, so they're unbeaten. But you're right, Aki have been great. Doing really well. 3 wins already. Good 2-1 win against Rochdale. Was a tight game. And I would expect Ipswich to win, but I don't think it's going to be easy.
No, I've been really impressed with Ipswich. I'm really happy to see them playing this well. They're a big club for League One, and they're a club we wanted to see do well. Blackpool have had Are they not a big club?
I don't want to see them do well, but you go for it, Tom. You go for it. I don't really care if they do well or not.
I expected more from Blackpool this season, and they really just didn't offer a huge amount. They got a goal back, and then they just kind of fell apart again. Accrington Stanley, on the other hand, they're my mystery team of the year. They're my Wycombe Wanderers. I just like the way they're playing. They seem to have a lot of swagger right now, and they're winning games, so why not back them? Ian, what is your score prediction for this match?
He's fallen into the trap of making sweeping assertions up, and we're only in week 6. Ipswich to win 2-1.
I'm going to go with a 2-0.
The Milton Keynes Dons versus Gillingham.
What was the last Gillingham result? I feel like they had a big game recently. Big game.
They did. I'm not going to shy away from it, Tom. They beat Oxford 3-1, and they deserved the victory. They were clinical. They scored 3 really good goals. They rode their left behind.
They Wycombed you, though. They had the ball like 8% of the match.
I don't know. I mean, Oxford were really good going forward, and we'll talk about that when I get to it. But Gillingham put on a clinic of how to be clinical in front of goal and how to put your body on the line and defend. And those are the things Oxford couldn't do in the game, and they ran out deserved 3-1 winners, in my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't say they didn't. I just, MK Dons
lost. You wanted to goad me, didn't you? You wanted to goad. You wanted to make me hurt.
If any of you want to see me get goated, watch any of the Premier League videos ever, because literally he cuts it out, but he says things just to piss me off.
Where he's ranting about Man United losing 6-1 to Doncaster.
Don't start that again. MK Dons lost 2-1 to Pompey, but it was a very, very tight match. Pompey somehow came out as winners, finally won their first match at home, but didn't Pompey have like 7% possession in this game or something like that?
That's a really weird thing. Isn't that like a common thing for MK Dons? We seem to talk about that a lot, how they play really well in games and dominate games, but they're not getting the results. So it's not seems to be working for them. So you would imagine that if they keep doing that fortune's going to turn around. But I still think Gillingham are going to win this game.
Well, I mean, Gillingham Oxford just did that against a much better side. So you feel like they can do it against MK Dons.
Yeah, very good at playing to their strengths and very, very strong at like getting the ball in the box and creating problems from that. And I think Gillingham will. I think they'll win the game 2-1 every score, don't I? 2-1 Gillingham.
Yeah, I've got MK Dons winning this 2-0. I'm going road.
Fleetwood Town against Lincoln City.
Fleetwood, really big win. Neither of us predicted it, though. It's because we were really enjoying Fleetwood not winning football games. They beat Hull 4-1, and it was a deserved 4-1 victory. They were all over them. Lincoln lost 2-1 to Bristol Rovers, which means their unbeaten start has ended. They actually had the lead in that match, didn't they? And they shipped a couple goals to end up losing. And then they had a man sent off, I think, in like the 85th minute to add insult to injury. So it's tough for Lincoln, but they've been on a really good run this year.
Yeah, it was almost like kind of Lincoln and Hull into the game into this round of games with 4 wins out of 4, and it was almost like League One was like, nope, neither one of you are getting that 5th win. You're both losing. We can't have stupid winning runs going on. This will be a good test for Lincoln how they respond, because this is arguably one of the most difficult away fixtures anyone will have in a season, and I can't.
Are Fleetwood back? Fleetwood back? No, you can't. But are they back?
We'll see. That was a really good start, and that's got to build into bigger things. None of their main goal scorers got the goals as well, so that was a interesting sign of things for Fleetwood. And I'll go for a draw. Michael Appleton will pull it out of the fire. 1-1.
I refuse to give Fleetwood any respect ever. That's a rule. Fleetwood Town to lose 2-1. It's a battle of two very, very fit athletic men, as Mr. Charlton Athletic hosts Mr. Wigan Athletic.
Charlton should be very athletic going into this one, seeing as they didn't play because of the international week. Wigan lost 3-0 to Crewe, though, which kind of ends a 2-game winning run that they had, and probably a bit of a surprising result, really. I don't think many people would have put down, although I backed Crewe to win, I certainly didn't back them to win.
They had something like 4 players out due to COVID, still played the game, and won. You know, like, real credit to them, and a real insult to Wigan, really.
I heard they played really well as well. I heard it was like the best performance they put on this season. They were really good going forward. So I don't know whether they were just pissed off still from that last weekend and just wanted to put on a show for the fans, because they certainly did. And I suppose we'll get to that when we talk about them. But this one should be a good game, you'd think. Charlton Wigan.
I really fancy Charlton in this game, but that probably seems crazy considering they've won 1, drawn 1, and lost 2. Same time, like, I don't know. I Wigan
agree
were bad the
last game. I agree, because you just don't know what you're going to get from Wigan. They've been a bit of a mixed bag, and would back Charlton to be the stronger side out of the 2. What do you say then? What are you going for?
4-3 to Charlton.
Wow, he's gone big. Oh, I'm not going to go for a crazy score like that. 5-4 to Charlton.
We just keep picking 2-1 or 2-0, and I was like, I'm done with that. We're going big or we're going home. Everybody go home and bet on that. This is not your grandstand bettors pick of the week. It's the very biased opinion pick of the week.
Rochdale versus Hull City.
So Dale lost 2-1 to Stanley. Like I said, Accrington Stanley are going up. They're Wickham wandering it this year, so don't worry about that. But they did lose 2-1, losing a lot of tight games right now. And obviously Hull were absolutely battered 4-1 by Fleetwood, but it was their first loss of the year. They have looked really good all year up until that point, haven't they?
They have. I would expect a backlash from Hull in this one, and I think they will win. Rochdale just... I'd say it's not good that they are losing those tight games. They're coming out on the wrong side of them too often. And older Brian Barry Murphy needs to turn that around. Otherwise, they're going to be, well, we predicted them to be struggling this season. And it looks like that's going to be the case, because I do think Hull will win this. And I'm just going to get my score in now. I think Hull will win quite comfortably 2-0.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's gonna be 2-1, because that's apparently the only score I can select outside of 4-3. But Rochdale fans, how do you feel about the kind of off-season? Because we really didn't think you strengthened enough. We really didn't think the team was good enough anyway in the league last year. So are you happy with what's going on right now? Like, yeah, you're playing kind of well and losing games, but you tend to find that teams that do that then tend to go on even bigger losing runs when they don't play well. Bristol Rovers to host mediocrity incarnate Burton Albion.
Well, I would even say they're not even being mediocre this time round. They've been really poor so far.
Bottom of the table, aren't they?
Yeah, and they lost 2-0 to Plymouth, and they're really struggling. They look really weak at the back. I mean, the goals they conceded in the games are very sloppy. And Bristol Rovers are coming off a great win against Lincoln, and they usually, although I say this every time, stronger at home than they are away.
Yes. So I don't think there's a huge amount to be said. Obviously, Nigel Clough leaving Burton has left a real hole in that club, and he's one of those managers that's been at a club for so long that he's part of like the furniture. So losing him is a huge thing. Burton obviously have financial issues, so they can't really spend a lot of money to bring players in, which has probably really hurt them. That mediocrity we were hoping for this year, they weren't able to bring it in. Bristol Rovers, that victory over Lincoln's really good, but this Bristol Rovers side is not a side that we've been sold by at any point this season. So I am going to go rogue here and go for a 1-1 draw.
No, I think Rovers will win. I think Rovers, that's 2 wins on the bounce they've had now, and I think they'll make it 3 wins in a row. I think it'll be a 2-0 Rovers win.
Oh, no, Ian's going to love this. Swindon Town versus Sunderland.
Well, Thomas, you would think I'm going to be going crazy, potty even, about Swindon losing to AFC Wimbledon. Bad result for them, losing 1-0 to AFC Wimbledon, but that is just what Wimbledon do. They just pull out these shock wins out of nowhere. They are a side that are difficult to beat, and they're proving that this season. They've had a good start, and Swindon, that's a couple of defeats in a row now, and arguably come up against one of the best sides in the league. It should be a good game because Swindon like to play really open, and I don't see Sunderland being on the back foot in this one at all. So I expect a lot of goals in a very open game here.
Yeah, no, I expect the same. Sunderland have looked like the Sunderland not you've wanted to see, but most fans have wanted to see it for a while.
You would expect, I guess.
Yeah. They're being far more of what you'd expect, and kind of what the league needs as well. Like a strong Sunderland is good for the league. Swindon have had a really nice reintroduction to League One. They played well, but losing to AFC Wimbledon is not a fantastic result in any way, and it's their second loss in a row. I think Sunderland are going to win this game 3-1.
Yeah, I think so. I actually think I might even match that score. I just have a feeling Swindon just a little bit too open, and Sunderland will just be able to pick them off. 3-1 Sunderland. Yeah. Portsmouth versus Doncaster Rovers. All bad.
So somehow Pompey have managed to finally win a game. They beat MK Dons 2-1, but because it's Portsmouth, they couldn't do it in style. They couldn't do it in an exciting fashion. They barely held on for a 2-1 win. Yeah, it was hard fought, but Jesus, Portsmouth, play a more boring brand of football that I cannot get behind. The other news is that Doncaster Rovers didn't play a football game.
No, they didn't, and I think Doncaster lost their last game, didn't they? It was a bit of an inexplicable one of their random defeats that they have. Yep, nothing's easy for Pompey. Nothing's looking good, but they need to just keep grinding out those wins until some kind of form comes to them. I last week worked out really well for me backing them at home. I'm going to back them again. I think it'll be a 1-0 Pompey win.
You know what? I'm going to go for Doncaster winning this one 1-0. I'm just done with Portsmouth, and I've said that all season.
Crewe Alexandra versus Blackpool.
Ian, I scored! I scored a goal! Pickering scored a goal! I won a football match and I scored a goal! It's unbelievable scenes!
What are you talking about?
Well, you clearly haven't seen the scores for Crewe, have you? Pickering scored the second goal.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry.
That's right. I scored a goal.
Well done, Thomas. Well done. Any other insight? Any other pearls of wisdom to drop on this one?
Crewe played well and won 3-0. Blackpool lost to Ipswich 4-1 and only have one win this season. And I have second straight year I'm looking at Blackpool and I'm like, what the hell is happening over there? I keep expecting more. I can't not expect more, and then I get nothing from them.
Yeah, this was a bad result, wasn't it? And it's like the new managers, obviously everything's not quite gelled yet. Just give them a little bit more time just to settle, but you cannot hide away from the fact that they've been on a shockingly bad run of form away from home for a long time now. So you have to back Crewe in this one. Although Crewe it's a busy week for them. They got to play Oxford on Tuesday, so you'll know the result of that one before we go into this one. And then they got Blackpool, so maybe they might be a bit tired. That's the only thing I can think Blackpool might get a win.
Well, I think Pickering's going to score, and I think Crewe are going to run out 3-0 winners again.
I won't go 3-0. I will go our favourite score on very biased opinions, 2-1.
To Blackpool.
To Crewe. All hail the Railwaymen.
Plymouth Argyle, Green Army versus Northampton Town.
Yeah, so two promoted sides, and so far out of the promoted sides, Plymouth have been the standout team. They've been excellent so far. Very, very comfortable 2-0 win over Burton, and as I say, they've adjusted to life in League One really nicely. Northampton lost to Peterborough, but Peterborough, we're expecting them to win the league, so it's not really too much of a shock. And there are going to be those days where Northampton just have to put their hands up and say we're beaten by a better side. Yeah,
I don't think there's any shame in the result than what that result was, and I haven't thought Northampton have been that bad this year, truthfully. And they've acquitted themselves quite well in quite a few of the games. But Plymouth have done they're, I know it doesn't mean a whole lot, but they're just outside the playoff spots right now. They've only lost one match out of 5, and you feel like they feel comfortable in this league all of a sudden.
Yeah, I mean, that's to say that they're not too far removed from being in this league, too far out, and they've always been a sort of side that's been. I always felt they should have been a League One side. Whenever they're in League Two, you feel they're too good to be in League Two. So
yeah,
should be good enough to play at this level.
I think I'm going to go for a Plymouth win. I think I'm going to go 2-0.
Yeah, home park, they're really strong, especially, and I'm going to back Plymouth too. I'm just going to back a score, be boring. 2-0 to the what, Thomas?
Green Army!
Athletic Football Club Wimbledon versus Shrewsbury Town.
And you always tell me it's Wimbledon. Is it not Wimbledon?
It is.
Okay.
I did the English accent instead of the immaculate German one.
Yeah, darling. AFC beat Swindon 1-0. It was a bit of a smash and grab, but obviously you delight in Swindon losing anything. Shrewsbury didn't play because they were against an opponent who had international players. AFC Wimbledon haven't been that bad this year, Ian.
No, just to say, I keep talking about this every week, but very well organised side. And if you go 1-0 down to them, it is going to be a struggle for you to come back into the game because they are very, very good at just banking up and making it difficult.
Yeah, they were obviously, like we just said, it was a bit of a smash and grab. When you only have 30% possession,
teams seem to. That's a common thing in football, though. You'll find, and like teams seem to be much better at having a game plan when they don't have the ball. They seem to just be able to handle it so much better than they would have done a few years ago.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like teams are. I think they talked about in the Premier League a year or two ago, but it used to be like you have less than 40% possession, you don't know what you're doing. Now it's 30 or below, and you're like, we'll get a goal and we'll hope for the best. And it's been working out really well, and Wimbledon have done it, have used it to their advantage. Obviously, Shrewsbury Town are now only known as the anti-football team of League One. They've drawn 3, lost 1. I don't know how Shrewsbury's form is away from home, Ian. Do you?
I'll pass on that one, but I'm assuming they haven't been that great start in the season, so their form away from home can't be that good either. So a tough one. I'm thinking a draw.
Cool. Score?
1-1.
I'm going to go for a 1-0 Wimbledon victory.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but as we back them for relegation, I can't back them for too many wins in a row.
I love that you're still referring to that as like a medium point for these. But they're coming up against the worst team in the league. Yeah, but they're getting relegated, mate. They've got to lose.
We've got to that time again, folks, where we've got to the final match. I am extremely nervous about this one, judging by how my yellow and blue army have done so far. But it is time for the main event.
Peterborough United hosting Oxford United Football Club. Ian, really quickly, because you're going to do what I just did in the Premier League video. No. Peterborough had a pretty good 2-0 victory. It was a dominant victory for them. Obviously, we think they're pretty much top of the league quality. But Ian, talk to me. What happened?
How you keep referring back to that.
Stop baiting me when it's your time. That's not fair.
I'm very interested because you've been backing Oxford in every game this season so far. I'm really interested to see how you do in this one because I wouldn't be backing Oxford in this one if it wasn't for the fact that this is very biased opinions and we cannot show weakness. So far, it's not been a good, understatement to say it's not been a good start. Obviously, we've got this game against Crewe, which we don't know the result of yet. We're filming this on a Monday. So hopefully Oxford have got that second win on the board. But as it stands at the moment, it's played 4, lost 3, and only won 1. And this game against Gillingham was a bit of a head scratcher because it wasn't a bad. There was aspects of the performance that were really good, and there were aspects of the performance that were shockingly bad. Looking at the positives, and it would be very easy to just look at the negatives. And if you didn't watch the game and you just looked at the score, it's easy to just go because we know how pessimistic we all are as Oxford fans, and you live in there of saying, "The shit, we're garbage, we're rubbish, we're terrible." Wasn't the case at all. I thought going forward, they looked excellent. Easily the best they've looked this season going forward. Created numerous chances. There was a couple of chances. Brannigan, who would have scored at 99 times out of 100, and you would have backed any professional footballer to score it. It was a real tap-in, and somehow he's managed to miss it. Taylor misses a header from 8 yards, a free header. You'd have backed him to score that too. Generally, we outplayed Gillingham for large periods. That doesn't mean Gillingham were bad by any stretch of the imagination, but we can't defend. Defensively, we look shockingly bad at the moment. We're just gifting goals. Look a lot like we did 2 years ago where we just let goals in for fun. And that's always going to be the worry when you come up against a great side like Peterborough.
You say you're like shipping goals, but is it a matter of Rob Dickey had become an absolute rock to this team and it's going to take time to build a good defense? Or are you looking at the defenders around that are left and going, they're not good enough to be here?
Yeah, that certainly is an element. Obviously, Rob Dickey was amazing last season. He's a big loss, and they just look very vulnerable. They look vulnerable from every set piece that comes in. It looks every players are just being sloppy and they're not closing down well enough as a whole team, really. And I think also Alex Goran not being there as that holding midfielder. Hopefully he's back in a couple of games. He does add a lot because he's just a bastard of a player. He's just
I think also you guys love using your wing backs, and when you use your wing backs, Goran literally becomes a third center back and he becomes the central center back. So basically players have always played off him. Sorry, because I had an idea about this before, but I wanted to ask you your opinion. So when he's not dropping in there, I don't think there's the command to the defenders, and I think you've got a young defense now, especially Atkinson, who's 20 years old or whatever.
Yeah, and they've obviously, in that game Atkinson didn't play because he was injured, so we had Long in at fullback, and there's a lot of talk, a lot of negativity going around Oxford at the moment. But Robinson's come out and said he's not going to buy another centre back because the players are coming back soon. The focus is on getting another winger in that we need. Pacey.
Also, just talking about statistically, 75% possession, 30 shots. 30 shots in a football match. That's a shot every 3 minutes.
I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed the performance. It was entertaining, and Oxford looked good. It wasn't like when they played Sunderland and when they played Lincoln, and they looked like they didn't have any ideas. They looked very good going forward, and it was very encouraging. And you just feel that if they keep playing like that, they will get rewards, because Taylor's not going to go games where he misses chances like he did. Winnall is coming back now and got some game time. He's our second striker. Adji's looked really good. Brannigan was looking good. Henry was looking good. It's a lot of good, encouraging signs.
I think Oxford just need a bit of luck, and they need to win a couple games and they'll be fine. I will say you were texting me, and until that third goal went in, you were very upbeat about the performance, and you were like, "We're playing well. Just fuck's sake, goals." Yeah, I'm back. I'm just gonna put my score prediction out there now. I'm backing a 2-2 draw.
Okay, well, I would certainly take that, Tom, at the moment. I'm really obviously, we had a bad defeat at Peterborough last time out. They look like they are getting their act together. I do think this is arguably the hardest game we've played so far. I know we had Sunderland at home, but I think this is going to be a really, really tough game. And I just hope somehow Oxford can get a win. Maybe the ref gives us a penalty, sends a couple of Peterborough players off, and we run out of there with a 2-1 victory.
Right, Ian, so that's going to do it for us. I think that's enough predicting, enough games. Unfortunately, because of time constraints, again, I feel really bad, but we cannot thank all of you for commenting and liking the video. And I also think that starting next week, if we find the time and I don't have to finish work so late, we're going to start thanking everyone for following the Oxford videos, because you guys, everything you're saying, all your interactions with us is so good. We love it. Ian's terrible at responding to messages. I just have to send you generic messages back when it comes to Oxford, but apparently I like them and I own a shirt with Oxford on it, so it's okay.
I do try. I really found it hard this weekend, especially. I just didn't want to almost put it out of my mind.
I mean, it's like me responding to Man United comments. I just click like. But thank you all for liking, commenting, subscribing. Please have a look at the end of the video. All our cards are on there. We've got some great videos, some great predictions, and some great reviews of Oxford matches, as well as that. Our season predictions are on there, and they're pretty bad right now. We love you all. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.